Donald Trump rallies rocked by illegal immigration activists this week. They hate his plan to build a wall and send the illegals back, and soon they'll have Pope Francis on their side when he comes to America next week. He wants us to open our doors to more immigrants, so who's got it right, the Donald or the Pope? Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Bowen. Welcome to Cashin. Our Cashin crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Michelle Fields, and also joining us, Juan Williams and Jessica Tarlov. Welcome, everybody. Okay, Michelle, who's got it right, these protesters and the Pope or the Donald, the Trump?
I'm going to go with the Donald. Look, we need to secure our border, not just for national security issues, but also for fiscal reasons. You know, Democrats and leaders around the world are criticizing America, saying that we're not generous, that we're not accepting as many migrants as we should. But look, if you look at the world population, the U.S. houses 5% of the world population, yet we accept 20% of all migrants worldwide. I think that's pretty generous. And, you know, we're in debt. Our welfare system is completely strained. We can't afford to continue to let tons of people in. All
right, let's take it to John. John, do you disagree with Michelle?
I do, strongly. I mean, actually, I disagree with Michelle and the Pope and Donald Trump, Eric. The Pope wants to deport immigrants. Trump wants to deport immigrants. The Pope wants to take care of them. They're both wrong. I mean, what is the role of government in this situation? It is to protect people from legitimate threats. You know, like Islamists, rapists, murderers. But people want to come here and work here. Immigrants, refugees. They're not threats. What about values.
People of ISIS who are going to try to get across the border? What about the threat of national security to America by just allowing people in, John? That to me is an issue.
Michelle, we talked about it last week. As long as we don't destroy militant Islam, then everyone's a threat. And to your point about immigrants being a fiscal strain on this country, that's why they should get no payments, no free housing, just as the immigrants of the late 1800s didn't come here for the freebies either.
Now, what we did, the way we did this is we're going to talk anti-immigration, let's call it that way, anti-illegal immigration. Let's do it right. Then John came with the pro-illegal immigration. Jessica, where are you on this?
Well, I'm somewhere in the middle, which is a nice place to be. And I think it's really bad karma, by the way, to agree with Donald Trump over the Pope. I just want to put that out there, not as a religious person, but just generally speaking. What I would add is there's a way to also get money out of these people. We know that if we make them citizens, they will start paying taxes across the board. You're going to make billions of dollars this way. Donald Trump's plan, it's going to cost, Politico put it at $166 billion. We're also talking about inhumane treatment. We're talking about tearing apart families. We're talking about, you know, the fiscal strain of deportation and the rising cost of the entitlement state.
Okay, fair enough. A full-bodied immigration plan does cost a lot of money, but Juan, you know what else costs a lot of money? Bringing in a bunch of illegal immigrants. They cost us a boatload of money in health care, in services, in food stamps, in welfare. I mean, we give them money. It's cost more than the $100 billion that Jessica cites.
You know, this is so incredible to me because, in fact, we are ripping off the immigrants. They're the ones that pay taxes and get no.
We're ripping off the immigrants? How are we ripping off?
Well, let me talk. I mean, I'm just telling you, they don't qualify for any of our entitlement programs.
Of course they do, Juan.
Oh, yeah.
We did this. We talked about it last week. They're getting food stamps. They're getting cash payments. They're getting a boatload of our money.
They do not qualify for Social Security, for Medicare, Medicaid.
No, yes, they do. They're on Medicaid. So
I'm telling you.
I'm going to bring it to Wayne. Wayne,
let me just say to you, they add to our economic vitality as a nation.
That's right.
You look at the percentage of people who are Fortune 500 CEOs. You look at the inventors, they are the small businessman in America, and it's time to stop demonizing.
Wayne,
look at Alexander Hamilton.
All right, let me. I think he's dead. Hold on. Show the full screen, guys. Here's the immigration picture, the legal immigration picture globally. Last year available, 2013, 990,000 legal immigrants came into America. Look at some of the other countries. Mexico likes to complain that we should be taking more. Only 54,000 in Mexico. Italy, the Pope, the Vatican is in Italy, 258,000. Wayne, we take a lot of illegal immigrants in. My suggestion would be even increase that more. Just make them legal.
Well, you've heard me say this a million times on this program. If you start off with the word illegal, in other words, you're saying illegal immigrants, you've got nowhere to go. If they're illegal, they're illegal.
Drink.
That's the end of the discussion.
We're doing shots. We're going to be drunk at 11:30 in the morning.
I'll have mine right now. Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead, Michelle. You want to talk about this a little? We a million as it is legal immigrants. What about that? What about increasing legal immigration, double it or triple it, legally?
I am for, if someone wants to come here and work and be a productive member of society, I'm absolutely for that. I don't think anyone's against that. The problem is there are a lot of people who come here with bad intentions. Because we have a huge welfare state, they come here to try to take advantage of that. And let me just say, I respect the Pope. Hold on, I respect the Pope, but I disagree with him. And if that gives me bad karma, as Jessica says,
it's not bad karma. Michelle, it's the Holy Father. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
Come on, guys.
Please, we have to agree with the Pope. The Pope is always right.
I disagree with him. No. I disagree with him.
Go ahead, John. Well, that's the whole point. A country is held together by its ideas, not by. It's not a pen. It's not like we're all fenced in or fenced out. It's those ideas. So just the fact that we have all those welfare programs, people can come here and get free housing and get free health care and get free education. That's the issue. People should come here to work their what's off. And if they need money, if they need assistance, let it come from the private charities, let it come from private individuals, and let them sponsor the next generations of America. Shouldn't be a drain on the public coffers.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Well, I've heard all of this before. We've debated this all before in this program. I've never heard anyone on this program disagree with me about the use of the word illegal. When I say you're an illegal immigrant, everybody just gallops off in all directions and doesn't refute that. If they're illegal, they're illegal. That means not legal.
But Wayne, what does that mean to you? I understand they made a mistake doing this in the first place. Everyone's accepted that, whether we call it illegal immigration, undocumented workers, or whatever. The question is, what do you do now with the 11 million people who are in this country, the vast majority of whom are working, many paying taxes, not committing crimes? That's a completely false narrative that they are more violent than the rest of the population.
No, hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there. It is not a false narrative. Illegal immigrants commit crime at a higher rate than legal immigrants and Americans.
Crossing the border. Crossing the border, not violent crime.
Violent crime. There is an increase in violent crime. Their numbers are higher rate than legal immigrants or Americans.
The point is, we know that you're not going to go door to door rounding these people up, no matter what Donald Trump says. We are a nation of immigrants. This is not how we treat people, and we should find a viable solution. Marco Rubio brought up in the debate the idea of people
but sweetheart, all due respect, you say we should find a viable solution. Everybody knows that. Of course we should find a viable solution. But nobody suggests that. Nobody can
rounding
give
people up is not a viable solution.
Exactly.
Putting people on trains out of town or rounding them up and putting them on trucks to ship them off to who knows where, that is not a viable solution.
Okay, Michelle, you want to wrap this whole thing up. Go ahead, Michelle.
Let me just quickly say before Michelle jumps in, God bless Jonathan, because that is such an ugly image of us putting people on trains. What kind of country are we becoming? And you talk about things like anchor babies. Trump is just wrong. He said at the debate, we're the only country that has it. 30 countries acknowledge us. This is just the kind of attacks on immigrants that's unfortunate.
Also, we should be proud that we're a country that does this.
And go ahead, Michelle.
Well, look, I think that maybe Trump didn't articulate his position as well as he could have, but I do think that he's tapped into something that people are very unhappy about, and that is the border crisis. We need to fix it.
But we know all of that. We know all of that. I mean, tell me something I don't know.
But people are disagreeing
with it. Give me some information I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you something you may not know. View crew, we've been all over Facebook and Twitter. National trends week after week. Cashin' in is one of the most talked about topics in America. Keep it up. Our collective voice is being heard from Dallas to Miami to Simi Valley to Fargo. Use hashtag #WakeUpAmerica and hashtag Cashin' in on every single social media content you post. Coming up, President Obama touting the economy, but he may want to ask about your salary. He may not like the latest checkup on your paycheck. Next.